Shots are fired. They have been fired by NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, man, and he took shots at the WNBA. I may not be a big fan of Adam Silver, but I'll tell you what, the man isn't stupid. And the comments that he made about the WNBA and this collective bargaining situation, which is set to go into a lockout in the next 9 days, as October 31st is the deadline for the current deal to expire. So on October 31st, if there is not a deal in place, which I do not think there will be, the WNBA players are going to get locked out, and pretty much all of them, except for the players under rookie contracts, the exception of two, I believe, Kalani Brown and Lexi Brown, are going to be free agents. They're about to all be free agents as they go into a lockout come November 1st. Let's talk about what Adam Silver had to say about the WNBA and their desire to get paid more money. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, where we talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. Leave a comment. Let me know y'all thoughts on the content here. Adam Silver pulled no punches whatsoever. He was asked about salary increases for WNBA players. And this is what he had to say. And I got to tell you, I'm sure as hell certain that the WNBA players cannot be happy with the comments made by Adam Silver about their league and the money that they want. So here's a story from ESPN, which was dropped yesterday at 4:59 p.m. Adam Silver, WNBA players can expect big increase in salaries. We've never debated that. We've never disputed that. We have always said they should make more money. There's no question about it, especially with the new television deal that the NBA gave them because of Caitlin Clark. But we've never had any dispute whatsoever about the WNBA players making more money. The dispute has been in reference to how much more and sharing of revenue. Revenue sharing is the topic. That is the big issue. That is the 400-pound rock in the room, if that makes any sense. So, but he said is that while they should receive a big increase in salaries, but the number should be absolute. The money should be absolute in terms of growth as opposed to revenue share. Oh shit. Shots fired. Shots have been fired. Adam Silver says, I think share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. Boom, we know this. He said this on the Today Show. I think you should look at absolute numbers in terms of what they're making. They're going to get a big increase in the cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it. And we've all said that. What we don't stand by, for those of us with brains, is saying that you should get a 50-50 split or a 51-49 split like the NBA players, which is what the WNBA players have been demanding. So it's been reported. They want what the NBA's got, except that the NBA generates billions of dollars and the WNBA generates, well, not that much, not even remotely close to that much. I wonder what the revenue generation of the WNBA was this past season with their best ratings ever bullcrap, despite the fact their ratings in the finals went down from last year to this year. But hey, this is what Adam Silver is saying. So there's got to be a whole lot of women that ain't happy to hear that. Maybe they thought Adam Silver would come save them because they don't like big bad Kathy Engelbert, who has made her comments known about how they should be thanking their lucky stars for what they get. So the WNBPA reposted. The WNBPA reposted a clip of Silver's comments featuring repeating on a loop. I think share isn't the right way to look at it. And the caption, don't want to share with a question mark while tagging Silver. They are delusional. They really believe that they should get a share of the profit, of the revenue, not even the profit, the revenue. What was their share before? I think it was what, 9% or something like that. I mean, it is what it is. Players are pushing for a system in which the percentage of revenue that goes towards salaries grows with this business. The business more akin to the NBA. It's not the NBA, where the salary cap is determined by the basketball related income, with players taking in about half of that mark as dictated by their CBA. Newsflash, you don't have much income. Owners are not going to lose more money to make you happy. Players say the league's proposals by contracts have featured a salary cap that increased by a fixed rate over time. Exactly. Absolute numbers, as it is in the current CBA, where the cap increases 3% annually. The Phoenix Mercury Satu Sabali said during the WNBA Finals that a recent proposal from the league makes the players feel as if we're not part of the growth of the league. You're not. You are not part of the growth of the league. The growth of the league has been predicated on Caitlin Clark. And when Caitlin Clark wasn't on the floor, your numbers were not remotely close to what they would have been. If we continued with the CBA, we would percentage-wise go down on our. No, you would not. You're making less. Your max salaries are $250 and less. $250. The max dollars that they're talking about paying y'all is close to $1 million, with minimum wage players making almost over 300 grand, which is like a 500% pay increase for 4.5 months of work in a league that still doesn't generate a profit. They can keep on pumping up. The WNBA has experienced record growth in the past 2 years with attendance, viewership, merch sales, investment, and franchise valuations. Valuations are garbage. We all know this. And a new $2.2 billion media deal on the way, which was provided courtesy of Caitlin Clark and Adam Silver giving you a handout. Kathy Engelberg spoke to the importance of balancing an increase in player salaries with long-term viability of the league. Listen, man. If they don't come to an agreement by Halloween, they could agree to an extension that would allow. I would not agree to any extension if I'm the ownership. They won't feel this until they're locked out. You have to lock them out. You cannot agree to an extension. Allow them to continue bargaining as they did for this last CBA that was ultimately signed in January 22. No one says you can't keep on bargaining if you're locked out. That's literally what you have a players association for. You're still bargaining. Why would you stop bargaining? That's a lockout's a lockout, but bargaining and negotiating continue. Why would they stop? A new CBA must be done before a two-team expansion draft is held for the Toronto Tempo and Portland Fire, and must also precede a free agency period where most of the league's veteran players are unrestricted free agents. There's going to be a lot of players making close to $1 million a year this year, or when they next get on the court. A lot of players are going to make close to $1 million a year. And people like Satu Sabali are sitting here complaining about it. Adam Silver, the person that they want to go run to and beg for help, is sitting here telling you, guess what? That shit's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. You're not going to get a split. You're not going to get this. You're not going to get that. What you're going to get is absolute numbers. And if you don't like it, go fly a freaking kite. They cannot be happy to hear what Adam Silver had to say. Again, they keep thinking that they're like the NBA and they're not. Adam Silver just dropped a pipe bomb on the WNBA players and the WNBA Players Association. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And the fact that he said that, I'm just laughing my ass off. I think that's absolutely hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. These women have no clue, man. And I'm trying not to be nasty about it, but it's just so frustrating. Is anyone sitting here talking about giving bowlers more money or some sport that nobody watches more money? Yes, nobody watches the WNBA. Not like they think. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts on what Adam Silver had to say? Leave a comment leave a comment, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all as always. Once again, this is Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, powered by Come On Now, the podcast. Come on now.